It seems extremely dangerous to purchase a car when you are penniless, and the last thing you want is to make a poor decision. However, what if you could get a car that requires almost nothing to maintain and operates faultlessly for years for less than $6,500? These are the top 20 affordable cars to purchase while you're broke, supported by actual statistics and professional evaluations. The 2008-2015 Scion XB, which is essentially a Toyota Corolla Matrix wrapped in a gigantic cube, comes in at number 20. Beneath its boxy exterior, it is a vintage Toyota with the same rugged DNA but with headroom and load capacity comparable to compact SUVs. The Camry's 2.4L engine powers the early cars, while the more affordable 2.5L powers the latter models. Both use timing chains rather than belts, and they often go over 200,000 miles with just little maintenance. It's also quite cheap to keep one on the road, because it uses components directly from the Corolla and Camry bins. Everything from brake pads to full gearboxes is inexpensive and readily available, and real-world yearly maintenance costs around $386. Insurance? Reasonable. It has good crash ratings and is categorized as a wagon. What's the greatest part? No all-wheel drive, no turbo, and no complicated technology to malfunction. Although it may seem outdated, the 4-speed auto is invincible. A minor catch: they take a little drink of oil, continue rolling, and periodically top it up. The 2009-2014 Acura TSX, which is essentially a Japanese Accord in a fancy suit, comes in at number 19. It offers traditional Honda dependability with a dash of style. With its timing chain and balancing shafts, the 2.4 LK24 engine is renowned for logging over 200,000 kilometers without experiencing any problems. It has a powertrain rating of 7 when paired with a smooth 5-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. Despite just costing $415 annually to maintain, it ranks second among premium midsizers for reliability. Components? Simple. Brakes? What about filters? What about coil packs? They are widely available and inexpensive since the majority are shared with Civics and agreements. Depreciation also benefits you. Leather, heated seats, and a 360-watt radio are still included in the clean TSX, which often falls below $6,500. Additionally, Honda designed the chassis to withstand spirited driving, so it simply lasts longer when driven carefully. Just a true defect? Rear bushings are an inexpensive press-in solution, but they wear out quickly. Not a huge deal. Have you ever seen a car costing $200K that seemed to be disposable? Keep an eye out for the next one. The 2012-2016 Chevrolet Sonic, a unique low-cost car that is proudly made in the USA, comes in at number 18. The Sonic, which was put together at GM's Orion plant, is very powerful. With the base 1.8L engine and 5-speed manual, it easily covers 150,000 miles. Sometimes even when mistreated by taxis, it received an 8.7 out of 10 for dependability. Driving on a highway? No issue. Without the high RPM thrashing that destroys smaller competitors, the engine just plods along using petrol at around 35 mpg. Because the Sonic is offered all over the globe as the Aveo, components are readily available and very affordable. Ranging from whole engines to brake kits, and annual maintenance keeps affordable at around $536. Here, simplicity is key. A 100 km/h timing belt window, coil-on plug ignition, and minimally complex braking electronics. Modern accents are still included, however. You won't be rolling about in a tin can since Bluetooth and 10 airbags are standard. High-miles Sonics don't remain on the market for very long since students particularly like them for their appearance and mileage. Be aware that early water pump leaks are frequent but may be easily and affordably fixed in a driveway. The 2009-2010 Pontiac Vibe, which is really a Toyota Corolla, is ranked number 17. Ignore the Pontiac badge, please. Its 1.8 L2ZR engine, which powers the Corolla and Matrix, is a true Toyota underbelly, capable of effortlessly cruising over 200,000 miles. Nearly the same as the Corolla, 7.8% of Vibes reach 250,000 miles, according to statistics. However, because Pontiac is no longer available, you may get one for far less money. Every mechanical component, including control modules and filters, is of Toyota quality. Real-world owners estimate maintenance expenditures in the mid-300s. Camry parts cost money, and any Toyota technician can fix it. Concludes annually. Additionally, the lofty roof hatch design allows you to still obtain more than 30 mpg on the interstate while transporting bikes, moving boxes, or a complete Costco run. Most people choose the lighter FWD cars for greater efficiency, although some AWD models even copy Toyota's straightforward viscous snow system. Astute consumers are aware of this tactic, which is why clean, high-mileage vibes quickly fade, particularly among delivery workers, students, and low-income families looking for Toyota dependability. Just a true defect, some early ECM issues. By now, it's almost always corrected. Simply drive, subscribe before we continue. We're here to assist you avoid the worst and locate the few remaining diamonds unless you want to spend a lot of money on rusty wheels. Ex-police Impalas that still have the original 3.5-liter or 3.9L V6 engine and 180,000 miles on them are common. Direct offspring of GM's bulletproof 3800 series, which is renowned for idly over 200,000 kilometers. They are kept alive by simplicity, a chain-driven engine, multi-port fuel injection, and the dependable 4T65E 4-speed automatic. Additionally, tires and brakes survive longer than you may think because to the heavy-duty suspension adjustment, the typical annual maintenance is about $568. And as GM produced cars for 13 years in a row, components are widely available and quite affordable. Depreciation completely destroyed them, but in a positive manner. The 2011 Impala that used to retail for $25,000 is now listed for less than $6,000, but it still has a large trunk, 6 seats for certain trim levels, remote start, and a leisurely highway fuel economy of 28 mpg. Drawbacks. Although cheap interior plastics enjoy rattling, the engine can still go for another 100,000 miles. Imagine a car that is so frugal that it makes mechanics and petrol stations feel just as lonely. And that's precisely where we're going. The Kia Rio models from 2012 to 2017 are ranked number 15. Additionally, don't let that cheap badge deceive you. Surprisingly, this little car traveled more than 150,000 miles on the original Gamma 1.6 engine, placing it fourth in an IC car survey of 10-year-old cars with the highest remaining life. With a timing chain, no turbo, and no direct injection until 2016, its engine is a budget-friendly marvel. Additionally, each change only requires 3.5 quarts of oil. Upkeep, the annual cost will be about $434, and maintenance will be less expensive than with many lawn tractors. Parts are widely available since half of the Hyundai Kia range is powered by the same powertrain. Also, fuel prices are still cheap. On 14-inch tires that cost less than a dinner date, drivers throughout the globe record low MPGs in the 30s. Coil-on plug ignition, simple 4-maver or 6-speed gearboxes, and a straightforward electrical system that seldom causes issues are examples of minimalist engineering at its best. Due to its large rental fleet, plenty of donor panels and trim and scrap yards, and its clean, high-mileage design, the Rio continues to be a popular choice for commuters who just want reliable A to B transportation. Although the interior plastics are prone to scratches, this isn't a major concern for those on a tight budget. The 2011-2014 Volkswagen Jetta, a rare contemporary VW that is really made to endure, comes in at number 14. Volkswagen's decision to simplify this US spec Jetta. Paid well, the lightweight Jetta just glides since the 2.5 L5 cylinder was designed for larger cars. Examples of 200,000 miles are not uncommon. An oil analysis reveals little wear on the engine. The reliability score is 4 out of 5, maintenance costs around $609 a year. Additionally, a pristine 2014 model with airbags, Bluetooth, and heated seats sometimes sells for less than $6,500, which is cheap money for a modern car because of harsh depreciation. Where it matters, mechanically it's straightforward. A robust rear torsion beam suspension and a sturdy ASIN 6-speed automatic. Since the Jetta has been VW's top-selling car in the US for many years, parts are widely available. Additionally, a vibrant enthusiast community makes do-it-yourself repairs affordable and simple. Door wire harnesses may wobble, which is a minor problem. However, it just takes 10 minutes to correct, and you're ready to go. The next one may be the one you've always wanted, a car that practically tells you how to repair it. The Ford Focus 2008-2011 is ranked at number 13. The ideal situation prior to Ford's overcomplication. A lifetime timing chain, a 4-speed auto or 5-speed stick, and a basic 2.0 L Duratec are included. Reliability, not flashy tech. With simple fluid changes, more than 60% of these can sail more than 150,000 kilometers. Components everywhere, because the Focus shares its chassis with the Mazda 3 and Volvo C30. A Riemann fuel pump or alternator can be purchased for little about $50. Consumables remain inexpensive and annual maintenance comes at around $569. $30 brake pads, $20 oil changes, and 35 mpg on the interstate. It is also wrench-friendly. Everything is easily accessible, including starters and spark plugs. Additionally, a sizable online community offers detailed instructions for each remedy. Clean cars sometimes offer for less than $5,000 due to significant depreciation, providing penniless customers with excellent fuel efficiency and current crash safety, without going over budget. Indy finally mastered true durability with the 2011-2016 Hyundai Elantra, which comes in at number 12. With a smooth 6-speed and a 1.8L new engine that did away with timing belts, the Elantra began to appear with more than 170,000 kilometers and no significant powertrain problems. Even dealer-sourced components like alternators seldom cost more than $100, and annual maintenance costs around $452. Parts are readily available and inexpensive, and scrapyards are stocked with spares since it shares bones with the Ford and Veloster. The price, not the car, was affected by depreciation. In addition to Bluetooth, heated seats, 5-star safety ratings, and a real-world fuel economy of 35 mpg, a clean 2013 Elantra often costs less than a new smartphone. Lightweight also saves brakes and tires, extending the life of consumables. Furthermore, any early problems were covered by Hyundai's 10-year guarantee. Just a flaw, if pressed, some of the more recent engines may suck a little oil. Simply check it once a month and keep going. What if I told you that the next car is still in like-new condition, by taking no new action at all? The 2009-2012 Nissan Versa, the ultimate low-cost workhorse, comes in at number 11. A hidden weapon of its is mechanical minimalism. The 1.6 LHR16DE engine, which powers anything from industrial pumps to taxis, runs lazily at low RPMs and is connected to a timing chain. With merely fluids and filters, more than 60% of these cars can cruise for more than 150,000 miles. You can buy a reliable 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual if you avoid the early CVT hatchbacks. Failures, initially difficult enough for small trucks, nearly unheard of. Because components are produced worldwide under brands like Teta, real-world maintenance costs an average of $456 annually. It has excellent crash ratings, cheap tires, and a fuel economy of more than 30 miles per gallon. Yes, crank chairs and manual windows seem archaic, but that lack of technology, the Versa just keeps starting when others don't, and that's why. The 2008-2011 Toyota Yaris, which is essentially the mechanical cockroach of hatchbacks, comes in at number 10. Constructed in Japan using the robust 1.5 L1 NZFE engine, the same block seen in early Priuses, the Yaris ignores 40 mpg highway runs a timing chain, and consumes 4 quarts of oil. About 90% of them are still in use according to 10-year statistics, and taxi companies can easily drive them beyond 250,000 miles without needing significant maintenance. Thanks to 14-inch tires that are less expensive than a pizza and shared components with Echo and Scion cars that are found in every junkyard, annual maintenance costs just $333 on average. It is all about simplicity. It has a torsion beam rear that handles pothole seasons like a pro, a 4-speed auto or 5-speed manual, no turbo and no direct injection. Do-it-yourselfers also adore it. Even clutches and spark plugs are simple driveway tasks. Because broke purchasers know that these machines simply don't quit, high-mile Yarises continue to command a good price when they are sold. Pure function was the final one. Just enough mayhem is added in the following one to make it likable. The Kia Soul from 2010 to 2013 comes in at number 9. It was surprising to most that a toaster-shaped Kia would rank among the most dependable used cars under $6,000. But it's here. Beneath the oddball look is a surprisingly robust combination. A 2.0L or 1.6L engine that works on a straightforward timing chain and does not employ a turbo or direct injection. These powertrains have proved themselves beyond 150,000 miles with little to no drama, particularly when mated with a 4-speed manual or automatic. It's common to find a 2012 Soul with its original engine and gearbox. Nearly all of the mechanical components are shared with the Hyundai Center Kia Forte, and maintenance expenses average just $437 annually. Used starters for less than $150. Brake pads for $25 and a gearbox that doesn't break until you really abuse it. When you're broke, that type of pricing structure is important. Its basic dependability is unaffected by a few oddities, such as early versions, slight electrical glitches, and bass cuts that may sound cheap at high speeds. The Mazda 3 from 2010 to 2013 is on number 8. After 10 years of rigorous usage, this car should not still be this sturdy, yet it is. Due to their stress-free tuning and lack of a timing belt, the 2.0L and 2.5L MZR engines often continue to shift smoothly and pull strongly after 200k miles. And this is how it differs from its smaller competitors. It's not like being in a penalty box. Despite its superior driving capabilities, the Mazda 3 never compromised on mechanical simplicity. Because it shares a basis with the Ford Focus, components are readily available and very affordable. Real-world components like struts, pads, and control arms are included in the $433 annual maintenance cost. Because enthusiasts like them, the aftermarket is overflowing with components that are more durable and often less expensive than standard. By this generation, Mazda had fully resolved its rust issue. The outcome: even after 10 saline winters, the underbodies are still clean. One of the few little cars that offers durability, individuality, and dependability without becoming a science experiment after 150,000 miles is this one. Next up is a car that is so tiny you'd never believe how much baggage or life it can fit. We have the 2009-2013 Honda Fit on number 7. Literally, this subcompact has survived. With an average of over 10 years of usable life left, the Fit topped longevity evaluations for cars that were 10 years old. At 200,000 miles, it's common to discover these cars still operating well. The 1.5 LL series engine sips petrol, employs a timing chain, and seldom ever requires anything beyond standard filters and fluids. While the manual gearbox is almost indestructible, even the automatic transmission performs well. Running it costs almost nothing. Simple hardware, inexpensive components, and annual maintenance expenses of around $390 indicate little danger. Since the engine is common with Honda models worldwide, you can get whatever you need in junkyards and on aftermarket shelves. It's quite adaptable as well. In a footprint smaller than a Civic, it pulls like a wagon thanks to its magic seats that can flip, fold, and drop flat. Some owners complain about thin paint and cabin noise on highways, but for a car that's dependable and reasonably priced to operate, they are minor annoyances and not a deal breaker. The 2009-2012 Toyota Avalon, the full-size cruiser that surreptitiously controls every longevity statistic, comes in at number 6. Surprisingly, 22% of Avalon cars in the 250k mile club surpass the quarter-million milestone. Compared to a typical sedan, it is 4 times better. The key, the smooth 3.5 L2 GRFE V6, produces 268 horsepower and just makes it at 2,000 revolutions per minute on the freeway. Parts remain inexpensive since it shares its engine and 6-speed transmission with the Texas RX and Camry. Consider brake pads from every corner store and alternators for less than $100. For a car with dual-zone temperature control, heated leather, and a backseat larger than several living rooms, the average annual operating expenses are outrageous at $463. After 150,000 miles, many Avalons still have their original suspensions and exhausts, and mild one-owner cars sometimes pop up for sale with economy hatchbacks, allowing budget-conscious purchasers to have Lexus-level comfort for Corolla-level pricing. Just a true quirk: spend $200, let the rear struts deteriorate, and continue to cruise. What then occurs? When the engine, the space, and the will to live forever are the only things left of that same Toyota DNA. The Toyota Camry from 2010 to 2011 comes in at number 5. This car is the epitome of what it really means to run forever. More than 13% of Camrys that have been sold during the 1990s break the 250,000 mile mark, and over 90% of them are still in use. That's technical discipline. It's not a coincidence. The 2.5 L2 ARFE engine is a straightforward 4-cylinder chain-driven engine that has been adjusted for stress-free, seamless operation. It comes with a 6-speed automatic transmission that is so reliable that technicians seldom discuss it since it doesn't break down very often. Keeping one alive will cost you roughly $380 a year, which is no more than the cost of oil, filters, and the odd brake repair. Parts are inexpensive, widely accessible, and often shared between RAV4 and Lexus models. With a socket set and a YouTube tab open, you can repair the car, and when you're done, you'll sell it without even trying. Because purchasers are aware that time is still on their side, high-mileage Camrys continue to generate demand. Reliability doesn't care how your dashboard appears, but if it does, it's probably the boring steering and some interior plastics that haven't held up over time. The Honda Accord from 2008 to 2012 comes in at number 4. On American roadways, this is among the most statistically verified survival. Second only to the Toyota Avalon in terms of lifespan, more than 16% of Accords from this period reach 250,000 miles or more. Both engines are capable of reaching 300k with only fluids, filters, and a little consideration, regardless of whether you choose the smoother J35 V6, the bulletproof 2.4L, or the K24. The 5-speed automatic is straightforward, well-suited, and problem-free. Everything from control arms to alternators is inexpensive and readily accessible, and ownership expenses remain low at about $400 per year. Donor cars abound at junkyards, and the Accord's Acura TSX overlap ensures great parts interchangeability. It's large, secure, roomy, and it doesn't penalize you for having it. There is still demand even at $180K. Customers are aware of what they are purchasing. Budget-friendly, quiet dependability, paint fading, and peeling clear coats affected several models early, particularly in Sunbelt areas. However, it is not a technical fault. Rather, it is a cosmetic one. Just drive another 100K while squinting. We've seen how far you can go on fuel. Let's now discuss the car that, to begin with, seldom ever utilizes any of it. The 2008-2013 Toyota Prius, the ultimate money-stretching device, comes in at number 3. A gallon of petrol or a maintenance dollar like this is not worth it for an inexpensive car. The engine hardly idles half the time in traffic, and its planetary gear transaxle only has one primary moving component, no clutches and no belts. 12.6% of taxis reach 250,000 miles. Thanks to this reduced workload, and taxi companies throughout the globe don't retire them until they have logged 300,000. Additionally, regenerative braking saves a ton of money. 100k mile front pads without a starter or alternator at all. In the real world, maintenance costs just $408 a year, and drivers get 45-50 mpg regardless of gas prices. Concerned about hybrid components? Don't. Riemann batteries, inverters, and even whole drivetrains are piled in hybrid shops for less than a timing belt service on a regular car because Toyota sold over 4 million of this generation. A little defect, glitches on the dash screen are rare. After a quick 30-minute change, you may resume your journey. The car in front of it may be the reason your neighbor has been driving the same car since 2010. You already know what's coming at number 1. The Honda Civic, which runs from 2009 to 2012, comes in at number 2. It seems to be a perfectly typical car until you notice that it is quietly outliving almost everything in its vicinity. Honda created its 1.8L engine and 5-speed transmission with the intention of minimizing stress and maximizing mileage, and it succeeded. When you consider that these Civics have a 7.2% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, more than 30 out of 400 cars, they surpass the 250,000 mark, which is absurd. Upkeep, lunch money, basically. According to RepairPal, the average cost is just $368 a year. And because Honda sold so many of them, components like pumps and sensors are widely available and very inexpensive. Additionally, the Civic's chassis is so adaptable that it supports anything from street-tuned Psy versions to your grandmother's sedan, so the options for modifications and replacement components are almost limitless. It's also more than simply a survivor. Although it is the only 1.8L engine, the ingenious 1.8L engine has a 1.8L engine. The car that essentially refuses to die is the Toyota Corolla, which was manufactured from 2010 to 2013. By enduring everything, this generation gained their reputation the old-fashioned way. The engine is still grinning, so it's no surprise that clean Civics are in high demand. 90% of Corollas sold in the last 10 years are still in use today, making it the most reliable little car according to Power. Better yet, around $70 annually, 7.8% reach the 250,000 mile mark. That means that about 40 cars out of 500 easily reach the 250,000 mark. The secret is mechanical simplicity and a basic 1.8L chain-driven engine. It has a sturdy 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual transmission and old-fashioned dependability without any turbo or fancy direct injection. Also, maintenance is very inexpensive. Because Toyota marketed these items worldwide, components like pads, sensors, and even whole engines are widely available and very affordable, according to RepairPal, which also reports that the average yearly cost is just $362. Even models with even more mileage are still selling for about $5,800, and fuel efficiency remains in the mid-30s, so broke customers may get incredible value without having to play Craigslist lottery. Yes, the chairs may rip too soon. Hey, but fabric doesn't prevent you from reaching 300K. We have now discussed the tails that are affordable.